bit about me. My name's Ellen. I'm a social work lecturer at CDU, but born and bred in Darwin, and recently started the Resilience Boxing initiative for women and girls up here. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I was training at a gym in Perth, and one day they said, "Hey, can you coach for us?" And I pretty much shit myself, and I thought, okay, I'll do it. I ended up doing it, and I thought I was really good at it. And when I returned home from Darwin, after having some issues in my relationship, I realised that there was a space for women in boxing in the Northern Territory, and I really wanted to bring something here for women and girls to engage in. Just putting myself in uncomfortable positions and really seeing how far I can push myself mentally and physically, but also giving back to the community. I know what it's like to grow up here and have family struggles and issues with violence and alcohol and other drugs, and yeah, really wanting to support women because it's a need. I think it's just really close to my heart. It's not just a job. It's going to make me cry. Sorry. I recognise how challenging it can be growing up and not having a secure family base, and to feel confident and secure within myself. And I recognise that there's also a lot of women and girls up here and in Australia who feel the same way and have experienced abuse by men or family members, and I think it's really important that we come together as women to stand up against violence and really show our strength in community. There's been so many moments that have stuck with me and made me feel proud. I went through a really tough phase where I was using a lot of drugs, maybe about 10 years ago, smoking ice and taking painkillers and all of those things, and it got to a point where I was using those things to basically knock myself out. And I came through that and ended up working at one of the top universities in the world as a social work lecturer, and now I can bring my lived experience and my academic experience together to create something really special. So many reasons. Accessibility, the cost of healthcare and mental health care in Australia is just out of control. I think it's $300 a session for a psychologist. We need to have accessible services like boxing, fitness training that people can actually engage in and feel good about themselves and get involved with community and create relationships and friendships. But also the high rates of domestic violence in the top end, as we all know. It's the highest rates in the country. I think Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander women are 18 times more likely to experience violence than non-Aboriginal. And the government is just constantly pulling money from services like DV shelters, and we need grassroots community-focused initiatives to really support women and children up here. If you want to support and get involved, I would say hit us up, let's have a coffee, let's have a chat and get to know each other. We're open to developing relationships with community, and we want to take this initiative as far as we can. It takes a village to raise a child, and it's the same thing with the grassroots initiative. Reach out, let's have a coffee. But if you want to come to one of our training sessions, look us up on Instagram and yeah, reach out.